Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am joined by a powerful woman who has lived most of her life for her purpose, talking to victims of abuse, people dealing with drugs and substance abuse, and she was able to work with most of these people who are also actually watching this morning. Katherine Njoroge is here with us. She's a center manager currently at Maranatha Restoration Homes, that is MRH, and also quite motherly, I can see. So ladies and gentlemen, feel free to talk to her, ask your questions, and she will calmly, because she's very calm, talk to you about your situation. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Habari ya leo?
Mzuri sana.
Hey, umefika?
Umefika.
It's good to actually have you. I had your voice over the phone the other time and I said, this is the kind of person who really works with victims.
Yeah. For a long time, I've worked with the victims, mentally ill, people on drug abuse, people who are seriously sick with incurable diseases like cancers. So it's been a long journey.
Yes.
Over 20 years experience as a nurse and as a psychiatric nurse.
Yes.
And also as a psychological counselor.
That is over 20 years.
Yes.
Do you get counseling yourself?
I do get counseling myself. It's called supervision.
Okay.
Like in Maranatha Restoration Center, we normally get what we call supervision every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because if you don't go for therapy as a caregiver, you can go into what we call caregivers fatigue.
Okay.
So it's important that you're seen.
I like that. I think I also need to be seen.
Yes, you do. When you listen to these old stories which are traumatic, you need to be seen.
I hope all the counselors are watching today.
I hope they are,
all
because could be there are people who don't take their counselors for therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now before we talk about ourselves, let's talk about you back at home who is handling an emotional scar and needs emotional healing, and you cannot reach out to people like Katherine because maybe stigma, you're afraid or you're too far away and you're just trying to think about it if you really want to consider therapy or counseling. And I am asking today, for the sake of the person watching back at home, emotional scars, I think they're inevitable. They kind of go through them?
They are inevitable because in many situations, they just find us. Sometimes you get an accident. Sometimes you lose a beloved one. Sometimes people in the university, they drop out due to lack of school fees. It's still an emotional trauma. Many things. So none of us is safe. We are all victims of trauma.
We are all victims of trauma. Before we take a look at how you get to the psychiatric stage, let's talk about relationships, marriages. I'm having a story coming, of course, in a while, of a woman who went through something she thought was love at a young age that really didn't turn out. You know, when you say sweet and sour.
Yeah.
And most of the people watching this morning are dealing with such partners. How do I know that this is a normal stage of relationships where we're on and off, or this is actually getting to an emotional traumatic experience? What are the symptoms?
Let me first just explain in very simple terms what trauma is.
Okay.
It's just an emotional response to a traumatic event or a bad experience or bad occurrence in life. So now, when you are in marriage, many times people think that when they are being slapped or their hair is pulled or they are being constantly, those are minor things because the society has taught us that a woman does not walk away from her home. So you sit on and let me say, like, women who have stayed in an abusive relationship is many times they are married to an abuser. And abusers are, there's an abuser circle.
Okay.
What you do, he will either beat you up or abuse you, calling you names,
verbally,
telling you how useless you are, could be pulling up your hair. And many times we just say, this is just a normal thing. And now the next stage you do is, at first he will gain that energy of being aggressive. He becomes aggressive, he becomes angry, he's irritable. But the wife says things, oh, this is just a normal thing.
He's going through financial stress.
Yes. And then the second thing is he can go now violent, either verbally or
physically,
physical. Yeah. So now, after that, after he's done you all that, either beating you up nicely.
Wow.
And then he goes to another phase called the honeymoon phase.
Oh wow. Okay.
He'll come and apologize to you. I'm very sorry, Susan. I did this to you.
Susan, yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. I love you. He can hug you. He can take you out for coffee. He can buy you the nice perfume you like. He can bring you a bouquet of flowers. Adore that. And the honeymoon does not last long. He goes to the same cycle. So that this woman is there thinking she can fix things up. Or at one time, the honeymoon will stay forever. So now she'll continue like that. And you see, as you go, it's just like a wood, a physical wood. If you have a wood and you keep on scratching it, it will never heal. Or it will even get worse. So every time he does the same thing.
Yeah.
And remember, in church he was told, for better or for worse.
So when it's worse, you stay until honeymoon gets
when
better.
When it is good, you stay. So, and in many cases, people stay even in worse situation. And then also, the victims, they have a way of clinging to their abuser.
Is this what we call the traumatic bond?
Yes, the traumatic bond.
You cling to the person?
Yes.
Okay, why do you cling?
You cling because you think you can fix things up.
Okay.
And sometimes you also cling to just show the world that your marriage is working. Or you don't want to disappoint those people who attended your nice wedding.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to disappoint your parents, who you promised during that time when they come and your father asks you, shall I ever, in Kikuyu they ask whether they will ever spit that sonda that they've taken when you're getting married, and you say no. you make that mistake. This saying that you shall stay.
But Katherine, all these things, and we're asking, is it worth it? You know, is it worth it? There's somebody watching and they're saying, yeah, I love my husband. When I married him, it was rosy, and I still believe he will change, like you said, we'll fix this. But is it not an illusion? At what point, because they're watching today and they're thinking, is it time to walk out? When do I walk out? Because reality is most of these people don't change. The bond is here. You're so attached. You're clinging. At what time do I walk out? How do I walk out?
Especially like it's always good to speak out. Even if it's not coming to speak out at KUTV, you can speak to a friend or to somebody you trust. And then they can walk with you or just tell you one or two words to encourage you and tell you walking out is okay.
Okay.
Or sometimes you can gather yourself, you can put yourself together and say, no, this is not what I wanted. Because unfortunately, some of us just get into marriage before we know even it's marriage. We get into marriage for wrong reasons.
Okay.
Because of a pregnancy. Pregnancy is not something to put you in marriage, or because somebody did a favor to you. It's not
took you to school.
Yes. Even if he paid your school fees, it's not a must that you shall marry those people. If he paid your father's bill.
Yeah.
No, it's not a reason as to why you should get married. But many times we find ourselves in marriage for wrong reasons. And then now, when we start being abused, we don't realize that we are being abused. And also, there's a way a society has taught us to look at the abnormal to be normal.
Okay.
That's more slap. Being pulled your hair, or being called stupid, or you don't think,
I regret marrying you.
Yes.
Okay.
Those kind of things. And remember, this time, your self-esteem is going down.
Wow.
He's breaking you emotionally, because abusers will make sure that they control you.
Okay.
And they have power over you.
Okay.
And they are very happy when you are powerless. You feel powerless. You can be having a lot of money. You're working as a bank manager, but still, an abuser will still manipulate you and show you how useless you are.
So they use manipulation a lot. So I want the person back at home, if you're watching and you're checking yourself and your relationship and your marriage, could there be some bit of manipulation? How do you sense it? How do you know that this is manipulation? Talk to our nurse here and our psychologist on our Facebook page. Let us know if you want to, anything clarified, because you could be just thinking. Maybe we can clarify that for you here. Now somebody's asking, is walking out the only option? Though we have seen people who didn't walk out, but they ended up in death. Is there a situation where you can maybe talk, go for counseling as a couple? Or are there abusers who are above counseling? Because people are healing with their scars in marriages. They want to heal together. They wanted to grow old together.
Yes.
Is walking out the only option? Are there other ways to be there and still?
There are other ways, like you can go for marriage therapy, and then you can be counseled together.
Okay.
And things can be put right, and then you start healing together.
Okay.
But you cannot, if you go for therapy and the person repeats the same things, then you even know this person is just going for therapy for makeup purposes. It's a manipulation thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
But people have been cancelled even where there have been bad incidences like promiscuity.
Okay, infidelity,
yeah. And people have been cancelled. They've been able to stay together.
All right.
And the man has been cancelled not to, there'll be those skills which he'll be taught.
Okay.
So that he can stop behaving like that.
All right.
Because it's good to man up anyway at one point.
I like when you talk about manning up. We want to, of course, just try and wrap up this, but we have a story coming on set, and I think I hear a lot of people saying you marry somebody who is still getting to know themselves. They haven't known themselves. So when they're developing, they start changing. Is there something you're going to tell to young couples, to young people who are looking forward to marrying people who are still discovering themselves? And how do you know the person you're dating is not going to be violent? I don't know. Is it easy?
It's not easy, because during courtship and when you are friends, because even the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. Yeah? So your eyes might be a bit bright. Okay. But we should also advise the ladies or the men who are getting married to take their time to look at those telltale signs,
the red flags.
The red flags.
Yeah.
What kind of a man he is. You should learn those things to checking up. What kind of a man do you want? What kind of a husband do you want? Does he have those properties? Because a leopard never changes his spots. If a man slaps you when you are in courtship, you'll be slapped 1,000 times. I just assure you.
Don't ignore the first slap.
Don't ignore the first sign of violence.
All right.
No.
Wow. All right. Okay. Now, please talk to us also on SMS and WhatsApp 0739 10544. is our SMS line. I know you all have a lot of questions. I'll check in your feedback in just about a bit. And I'm asking today, some people feel they have healed. Mm-hmm. They want to, of course, I divorced my husband, or I have broken up with my boyfriend. And how do I know I am not going to be putting pain into the next relationship? I know the people who have now felt, no, me, I'm okay. From your expertise, is there a disillusion? Is there an illusion that I am healed, but I'm not healed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if you are to leave, you just don't wake up one day and just walk out.
Okay.
I know, but if there is real danger, you walk out. But if you are planning to break up, please have a plan. Have a list. You can list your things down.
Okay.
And you prepare yourself slowly. You can even be seeing a counselor to counsel you, because you see, marriage is like investing in a bank. You've invested your love in it. You have invested your nice shape in it, because when you start getting children, that shape goes.
Yeah.
And so it's not something you can just walk out just like that. And that is the time you see people walk out. They're in bitterness. They have unforgiveness. They are emotionally traumatized. So have a plan. Plan slowly. See a counselor. See a legal advisor.
Yes.
To advise you, because sometimes you have invested together. You need to know if the marriage ends, what is your rights?
Yes.
And even if you have children, who are like visiting or custody, who gets the custody of children. So it's a lot of things. You need to...
You put those things in order.
And have a plan.
Okay.
And then also don't just tell somebody, I'm walked out. You never know, he could be a violent man, and he has sworn you shall never leave him. Because when men discover you want to leave, or an abuser knows that you're going to leave, that's the time you can easily be killed.
This is where we get the homicides. These are extreme cases.
Yes.
Now, I know some, like I asked earlier, you probably didn't get it, about the healing process.
Oh, healing process.
Yeah, the people you have worked with, are there stages of grief that people go through? And how do I know I'm ready, I'm healed?
You like now, you see every, like if you are leaving your marriage, you are going through loss and grief.
Okay.
And you need to go through all those stages. You first deny, you say, no, how can I leave my nice house? How can I leave my husband? What are people going to say? You are grieving through that process. And sometimes you also get bitter, So when you are through with all those stages, then now, when you feel now you are calm enough, that's the time now you can think now you are healed.
Yeah, you get calm.
And it's good now to go through a counselor.
Okay.
But people have also managed even without a counselor. Just working could be with a friend.
Okay.
With a friend who is mature enough, who can be able to advise you and guide you. And also, when you are leaving, where are you running to?
Okay.
Where?
Okay.
You can't just go to the streets. So that's why I'm saying you have to have a plan. And you see, when you are planning, you are healing. Because if during planning, you are also healing, because you're telling yourself, I'm leaving this marriage for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's time you can know now you're healing.
People are coming out to talk about their stories, and these are people with children. So we also have the psychological aspect of children. We're protecting children who probably saw their mothers being beaten, who are actually out of school because of school fee, because their dad neglected them, or just certain situations. I want you to talk about these two aspects. What is the right time to come out and talk about your story, or is it personal?
Like when you are able now to get out, go to a safe place.
Okay.
I know there are shelter homes. You can go to a friend. You can go to your parents' place.
Okay.
At least you should first be safe.
Okay.
And also work through yourself. Don't just go to the media and talk about it, and later on when people start reacting through the media, and sometimes people can be very hostile.
Oh, the comment section?
And the comments,
Yes.
they'll break you down. So until you are very sure, double sure that you've healed, please don't tell your story.
Okay.
Until you are ready. And actually, if you're working with a counselor, she can tell you, at this time now, I think I can discharge you. You're well enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now could be you can talk about it.
Nice. I know you're talking to people who are healing, people who now think they want to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get to Maranatha Restoration Homes? What do you people do? Is it open for people of all ages? Is it also, because it's a home is safe?
Now, Maranatha Restoration Homes is a psychiatric a psychiatric center. Yeah, we treat mental issues.
Okay.
We treat depression. We treat drug addiction. We also have an outpatient section.
Okay.
We can see people as outpatient. You don't have to be inpatient. So for people who have taken alcohol and drugs, we put them through a psychological test. And if we find they need to be admitted, we admit them for 3 months.
Okay.
And the first month is just evaluation, just checking out for anything. Are they mentally unwell?
All right.
And also settling them down.
All right, so these are some of the services you offer at Maranatha.
So the second month, if you're inpatient, is the time now we commence on treatment. We take them to classes. They go to classes.
Wow.
By the way.
Okay.
From around 11 up to 4, they're in class, running different things. And then the outpatients also we normally see, especially school children.
Okay.
I'm grateful. I want to thank all the teachers who are supporting their students when they misbehave, when they smoke bang, when they drink. Some of these are just experimental stages they are going through. So I thank all the teachers who understand their students and send them to us, to Maranatha.
Wow, okay. Yes. I was just trying to give you guys
then you had also asked me the location of Maranatha.
Oh, yes.
So Maranatha is in Thika, a place called Goigwa, Moram Road.
Just when you're going into Thika?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Moram Road. Yeah.
Beautiful. So people should reach out to Maranatha Homes Restoration Restoration Homes if you're going through something, if your teenager is going through something, if your husband is going through something, and this could be causing the emotional violence that is going on in your home. Seek this kind of advice and help. I want to get your opinion, your personal opinion.
Yes.
Besides the professionalism.
Yes.
On how people should actually walk this journey
of healing.
Yes. Just speak to them right here on the camera.
Now, when you know now you've gone through abuse, it's good to get to somebody you trust or to a counselor. You walk the journey with them. Many times you call them sponsors. Somebody who is sponsoring you to walk with you the journey, or somebody who is sponsoring you by paying you a counseling fee. Please walk with them, listen to them, seek their opinions, and also if you're on drug, could be for sleep, please do not stop taking your medicines, because getting healing is a process. Just as the way you didn't get traumatized overnight, even getting well takes also time. Take your time. Don't get tired of seeking help until you can stand on your feet. And at this time, I also want to repeat my names. I'm Katherine Njoroge. I am a center manager at Maranatha Restoration homes. And I work with one great woman called Professor Katherine Gashoda. Yeah, that is my boss.
Wow.
She's a senior psychologist in Kenya. Yes.
Wow, so I think I should have a daughter and name her Katherine if Katherine comes with so much, wisdom. So if you're getting a baby girl tomorrow, if your due date is tomorrow, probably consider the name Katherine, but do we say? So thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate your time, and we can literally feel, how you walk with these people. And the aura around you, the energy is really welcoming. So we look forward to having more sessions with you.
Thank you so much.
Please come again.
I feel honored.
Wow. All right. So that's it for the psychologist and psychiatric perspective on healing emotional scars. All right. We've just laid a foundation. We've brought you all the expertise, all the perspectives that are legal and also psychological. We now want to hear stories of people who've been through this emotional healing journey, what they did. And I will start with a young man. You've already seen him on the social media. He actually was very active on his Instagram just to make sure all of us were walking this walk with him and walking the talk. He decided, you know what, I will walk on my feet over 400 kilometers, all right, to create awareness about mental health. And guess what? I am so proud of Kenyans because you were able to escort him, give him places to sleep. Some gave him food. I don't even know if he planned or expected that Kenyans would come out. And the stories that he was able to hear as he walked are stories we're yet to hear from him this morning. So sit down, enjoy the show. We'll be right back. Good morning.